couple people had asked me how crops had been doing since we got that hailstorm, and to be quite honest, I haven't even taken a look because really at this point there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm gonna go out here and we're gonna take a look and see how the crops are doing. It's gonna be about a quarter-mile walk here on the edge of Gary's field to get back to where the hail damage occurred. So this might take a minute, but at least it's a pretty nice day out. I just mowed this down this spring, and we have one of these black locust trees growing up here. It's already up to my waist. So we're almost up to the area where we got hit with the hail, but before we go up there completely, we're actually at the edge of the apiary, or where I want to put the apiary, and I haven't taken care of it since this spring. I haven't mowed, I haven't done anything, and it is completely overgrown. But the positive thing was, since I've been caring for it, what's been coming up is wildflowers that before were getting choked out by milkweeds and other just random grasses. But now, since I've been mowing it, it's allowed the weeds or the plants to come up and flower. And we still have milkweeds, we still have sunflower seeds, but they're kind of more in check and not just overrunning everything else around them. The grass, there's really nothing you can do about unless you're going to till it, which I really don't want to do, especially if, I don't know if you can see behind me, all these purple flowers are going to be in here. Another butterfly. A lot of monarchs up here. Or painted ladies. Painted ladies kind of look like monarchs, but they're just smaller. There's one over there. God, there's one over here. Where is he? See, I can't focus and see. There he is on top of the purple. I'm still not 100% sure of what I'm going to do up here, but I think if all these wildflowers keep growing the way they are, I might just leave it. I might have to put some other ones in here that are different earlier in the season, so that pollinators have something earlier in the season to go with. But I don't know how much you can see, but all those ones that are sticking up way back there, those are all sunflowers, and I don't really know what these are. These things have come in. They smell kind of nice. Actually, they kind of smell like sage a little bit. But I don't know if you can see that, but they have these little cones up there, and I'm not sure if those are going to flower or if that is the flower. They don't smell like anything. The plant itself smells a lot like sage, honestly. But since I quit mowing this year, and last year, like I said, this was all just brome grass, but they're kind of choking out the brome grass right here, and I'm not really sure what that is, but I kind of like it being there, especially if it's going to make flowers, late season flowers maybe for pollinators. And there are already just a ton of butterflies up here, bees, just a lot of little weird buggy things that are digging around in the flowers. Couldn't tell you what they are, but there's definitely pollinators up here. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with bees, if I'm going to do it at all. I really want to, but I have some things coming down the road that might hinder that whole project. I was going to do chickens this year. That didn't happen because my neighbors have chickens, and where I want to put them is right up next to their chickens, which is fine. But there was a big chicken disease this year, and the last thing I wanted to do is go out and buy some chicks and put their house right up next to their house, and then find out that they were all sick and had to be euthanized or died of their own causes. So I kind of put that on the back burner this year. I'm still thinking about doing that next spring. Corn we want to check out is over there at the top of that hill behind those sunflowers, and go take a look at it in a minute. Well, it looks like the irises we planted are still doing all right. Kind of getting choked out by all these sunflowers. Not flowering even yet. I'm getting ready to. Bunches of horse nettle up here. Well, here we are at the edge of the cornfield. They got the hail damage, or the brunt of it anyway. There's a lot of it got hailed. The edge is always shorter corn, but usually by like 2 or 3 rows it's backed up to normal. This doesn't look very normal at all. And even the ears I can see here are pretty small and really low to the ground. It didn't get very tall at all. So let's take a look. Okay, we're about 20 feet in here from the edge, and I'm walking actually kind of edgewise against the corn, and you shouldn't be able to do that. That's how thin it is grown. And the ears, a lot of them are actually set down by my knees. So even though if they did make a decent ear down there, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get into the combine, if we can get it low enough and get it to pick up. It's not laying over or anything, it's just their ear set is really low, which I guess I'll probably appreciate when I go to plant beans next year in here, but it's not looking great. Like, there's a lot of deformities and stuff. Like, yeah, I tried to make 3 ears on this one, and it's only gonna have 1 viable ear, and it's not even very big. It's not a real good one. And I'm seeing corn smut, which is not good at all. This is corn smut, and it's, well, in South America and Mexico, they use it and they'll mix it in tortillas and it's edible. It's kind of a delicacy some places. I've actually worked in kitchens that did catering where they've used corn smut on recipes. But as a corn farmer that doesn't sell corn smut, maybe I should be selling it, but it's not good. When we got that hail, it damaged the plant somehow, and the corn smut carries through the air. And it didn't have ears back then, but it probably damaged the plant, or we picked it up from somewhere else. It blows in, and like sometimes if water gets in the ear and the end of it, it'll go in there and it'll start to mold, and then it just takes over the corn, and it'll cut your yield by 20-30%, I believe, from everything I've heard. Just another thing on this crappy ear that we got. I'll take this area for example. The camera where you're sitting right now should be corn all the way down there. That should be corn all the way down there. This row just didn't really do well. I can see the residual damage from the hail on a lot of these lower plants here. Like, just got broken off, you know, that never grew. This one here didn't, that broke off and just nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing to pick up. If we had cattle, it might be better off chopping into silage. Well, half of them are missing, but all of those should be taller than I can put my hand in the air, and clearly that's not happening. Here's a pretty good example of damaged moldy corn. Every corn plant has a male part and a female part, and the tassels that you see up here on the top, these the tassels up here, that's the male part. And then the little fuzzies, the silks that you peel off when you're making your corn, that's the girl part. But sometimes we have issues like this where, I don't know, is this a, I don't know, it's got both of them the wrong, it's got the wrong parts in the wrong parts. You get issues like this where this is actually your corn smut, I believe, right here. And I'll put the name of that on the bottom of the screen because I can't exactly remember what it is. It's kind of an Aztec word for what this is, and I can't exactly pronounce it, but I'll put it on the bottom of the screen so you can see what it is. But anyway, this should not be girl parts up here. This should be boy parts up here. So I don't know. I've seen a couple of those around here, and that's probably partially maybe some genetics, but it's also part of being damaged by hail, I would imagine. Don't quote me on that. I'm learning just as probably quickly as you are about this stuff. And actually, I had to take you off the tripod here. I can show you how low this corn over here is. Like, that's, well, looks like that's a good ear. That's a good ear, but that one down there, that's 1, 2, 3. I tried to make 4 ears, 4 inches off the ground. That doesn't do me any good. No good at all. There we got another one. There's a lot of that stuff in here this year. Another example of a really crappy part of the field here, but the rows run this way. You shouldn't be able to see more than like a row or two edgewise. And I can walk through these just like I'm walking down the sidewalk. I found some more corn smut. Come over here and I'll show you. All right, I don't know if I'm gonna go much further in here because it's about 90 degrees, and if you've ever walked through a cornfield in 90 degrees when it's full grown, it's super wet and super humid in here. It's like its own ecosphere. I think they said like 1 acre of corn will give off something like 4,000 gallons of water vapor in a day or something. I think that's the number they have. Where we're at here in the field right now is where, if you look at video from planting that I'll link up there from this spring, I had a marker arm issue, or the first marker arm issue of the year. Sometimes trickier than it should be. Still hung up. Damn it. Yeah. This marker is gonna be a pain in the ass. There's actually a fairly decent stand of corn. Like, I mean, we're not missing a lot of ears or a lot of stalks, but they're small and they're low to the ground, just like over there. Apparently, not only am I hot, but my camera is hot and decided to shut off for a minute. So we'll kind of get at it here, but the corn up here doesn't look terribly bad for the plants, but the ears are absolutely awful. And I don't know, not a whole lot we can do about it, but let's get out of here because it's too hot.